Why does low-fat food get a bad rap? Walk into almost any party and mention the words, low-fat food, and you'll see many people stop, grimace, and start to share an experience that they had with a coffee-fat diet food that was absolutely terrible. Unfortunately, that's the perception of far too many of us about low-fat diet food. But how did it get that way? Here are a couple of the explanations. Low-fat food features a but favorable reputation in some circles. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Master Health Media channel. Subscribe, make a comment, hit the bell icon, please and thanks. First, there's many really awful low-fat diet food on the market today. Never mind that there's a world of microwave dinners out there that are saturated with salts, fats and other things that are equally as terrible. Because there are low-fat prepared dishes that lack flavor and sometimes have weak or undesirable textures, people be happy to think that any low-fat diet food goes to be within the same category. Next, there are people that expected to organize low-fat food expertly on their very first try. Well, rock bottom line is that you simply may need to have some failures within the kitchen before you hit your stride and begin arising tasty dishes that are a part of the low-fat diet food genre. You didn't find out how to form the high-fat stuff successfully overnight, right? People only too often hand over after trying to organize one or two low-fat diet food recipes, then write off the entire effort as not worthwhile. Third, there are those that simply don't think that food goes to taste right unless it's many fat. It's very true that fats enhance the flavors of numerous things we love, from dairy to meats, even to seasoning our vegetables. This might be the foremost difficult opportunity to beat, as an individual with this mindset will insist that there's just one proper way for a dish to taste. Any use of other seasoning methods will end in an inferior effort, and cannot be considered tasty. How can we move past these experiences? We realize that packaged food generally doesn't taste nearly as good as home-prepared foods. That has the low-fat food items we tried. We revisit into the kitchen and work on some recipes with the understanding we may have several more disasters before we start to urge the hang of low-fat diet food preparation. Last, we open our mind to there being some ways that our favorite foods are often seasoned. We'd also open ourselves up to the likelihood of finding new low-fat diet food recipes that we even prefer than our favorite fat-laden one. After all, it could happen. Low-fat food doesn't mean bland, plain, or mediocre. With the proper attitude and a few willingness to experiment, we will change the bad reputation of the low-fat food experience, one person at a time. Earmarks of an honest low-fat recipe. Almost everyone features a horror story about trying some low-fat recipe. Either the result was tasteless, bitter, or simply plain terrible. While it's true that there's quite one low-fat recipe out there which will cause you to want to run and conceal, there are quite few of them that are quite good. Here are some signs which will help indicate a recipe which will actually end in a tasty dish or dessert. You will note that an honest reduced fat recipe for an entree will presumably be barren of fat and can no involve frying. However, you'll find that a mix of herbs and seasonings could also be employed to offer the entree some zing. When preparing a coffee fat recipe for an entree, you would like to see for items which will be sautéed during a little vegetable oil, perhaps with an attempt of wine. Alternatively, the item could also be baked or broiled after being rubbed down with a mix of spices and maybe use of an attempt of lemon or fruit juice to stay it moist and supple. Unfortunately, too many folks grew up thinking that the sole thanks to prepare many vegetables was with a generous dollop of bacon fat. The very fact of the matter is that you simply can still enjoy vegetable dishes that include spinach, collards, greens, kale, and cabbage without adding within the fats. You'll kick them up a notch by making use of garlic, onion, and other seasons as they're cooking down. When it involves such things as limas, black-eyed peas, and field peas, garlic and onion also help to feature a touch of flavor which will assist you forget there's no bacon grease anywhere near them. You love that prime fat content dip you get from the store. Whomp up some hummus instead. Made up of chickpeas, this low-fat recipe are often seasoned with sauce, spices, or the other low-fat alternative you wish. Chickpeas, by the way, are good for your vital sign. Living a coffee-fat recipe life doesn't mean you're banished to a world with no taste. It does mean you'll cash in of using herbs and spices to offer your cooking a pleasant kick within the pants. Why not provides it an attempt today? Leave on the web and detect one low-fat recipe that uses spices and other alternatives. You'll get on the thanks to an entire new way of enjoying your eating. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Master Health Media channel. Subscribe, make a comment, hit the bell icon, please and thanks.